Well, hello there, watch friends. You know, it's been a while since we last talked about hot waitlist watches. Actually, I think it was 2019, so 2 years ago, since I last talked about the hot to get watches such as the Rolex Daytona, Patek Philippe Nautilus or the AP Royal Oak. Since then, the situation seems to have gotten even crazier. And myself? I have a new perspective on things. Because during the last 2 years, I was lucky enough to acquire at retail price from official dealers the Hulk and, what I'm even more happy about, this baby here, a Patek, and not just any Patek. I was lucky enough to get the chance to buy the Aquanaut. Actually, let me put this baby on, since we are talking about hot to get watches today. It's only fitting. So, how was I able to get these two watches? Am I just lucky enough to live in Switzerland, at the source where all these watches are being produced? Is it easier for us in Switzerland to get them because there's plenty of supply here that is not being shipped to other countries? Well, to answer that question, I should probably start by telling you about the watches that I didn't get and my experience trying to buy them. Let's start with the Pepsi, a watch that I absolutely love and have my eyes on since it came out. You know, for years I'm looking for a good travel watch with a GMT function, but they are either super expensive or thick as a brick. Now the GMT Master 2 is about the only one that has it's Rolex, it's pretty freaking expensive, but compared to, for example, a travel time from Patek, it's a bargain. And it is pretty slim. Actually, it's thinner than a Submariner. So I would really like to get that watch. So what did I do? Well, I just went to the retailer and told them to put me on the wait list. I had to do this 3 times before I encountered one that would actually put me on the list. That was almost 3 years ago now, and since then I did not hear a word from them. Same with the Royal Oak from Audemars Piguet. And I even put a little bit of effort in, like I visited the store again 2 or 3 times, talked to the sales lady about the watch, we had a really good conversation, made sure I'm still on the list. But what did happen? Nothing. I still didn't get a call 3 years later. And this is the biggest retailer of Audemars Piguet in Switzerland. Now I know there's rumors, well I shouldn't say rumors, a lot of people believe that waitlists are a scam and they don't even exist. Well, I disagree. Waitlists do exist. And in most cases, if a retailer tells you you will be put on the list, your name will be on a list. The problem is, though, more than likely, if it's a really hot watch, your name will not move up in that list. For example, in my case, my name's on the Pepsi list. Now let's say I'm number 20 on that list. Now the dealer gets a piece, sells it to the name that is on top of the list, which means I'm moving up to 19. Next one, I'm moving up to 18, and so on until I'm on top of the list. Well, that's not exactly how it works, because you can be damn sure that in the meantime, there will be existing customers coming in, asking for that watch too. They will come later than me. But who do you think is going to get that watch? Me, who has never bought anything in that store, or an existing customer that has years of history with the store? And that's a problem. As long as you're just a name on the list, you're going to remain on the list, and there will always be people cutting the line in front of you. So in my experience, if they put your name on the list and you do not get a call to pick up the watch within 3 to, well, let's say maximum 6 months, you will never get that watch. It's either within half a year or never. But then, how did you get the Aquanaut, do you ask? Well, let me tell you. To start with, it was the same situation as with the Pepsi. I went to the store, had a nice conversation. I said, I really love that watch. I want to own it. Please put my name on the list. And they did. And then I waited. Half a year, nothing happened. Because after all, I was just a name on the list still. Well, around that time, luckily, I was in the market for some jewelry. So instead of Googling the shit out of it, trying to find the cheapest diamonds. I just went back to the Patek dealer, which happens to also sell jewelry. So, in the process of buying my jewelry at the store, I got a chance to form a bit of a relation with the people there. You know, they got to know me, I got to know them, talked about jewelry, we talked about watches. They were able to get to know me a little bit and see that I am genuinely passionate about watches. And lo and behold, 3 months later, I got the call to pick up my watch. Now, this was not about the amount of money that I've spent. It wasn't a lot, but it helped me to make the first step. And I got a feeling they weren't looking for a big spender. They were just looking for somebody who would actually appreciate the watch and, more importantly, not go ahead and flip it trying to make a profit. So, you know, when I started my watch journey and first tried to get some of the more desirable watches like a Daytona, for example, or the Pepsi, I always hated that advice. Form a relationship with the dealer. I thought, how am I gonna do that? Just walk in the store once a week, trying to chat the guy up, talk about watches a bit? I wanted to buy a watch, not make new friends. But the truth is, I just wasn't ready for the watch. And if you feel the same, maybe you're not ready as well. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, collecting watches is a lifelong journey. Imagine you taking up the hobby and in the first year you buy a Nautilus, a Daytona, maybe even a Paul Newman, an FP Journe Tourbillon minute repeater. And then, what you gonna do next? You need something to aspire to. There needs to be steady, slow progression. You know, the main goal of watch collecting isn't the collection itself. The main goal is to get as much fun out of it as possible. And always having this next big thing for you to get out there. That's fun, right? So even though earlier on I didn't like the thought of building relationships in order to get watches, when it came time to buy my jewelry and buy this watch, I couldn't wait to get in the store and talk to the people and have a good time, because it was actually about buying something, you know, and about expressing my passion. I wasn't just trying to increase my chances of getting a watch. If it doesn't make you happy to go to the store and talk to the people, don't do it. You're not ready. Also, if you want to buy the watch just because you know you can sell it for a profit later on, don't do it either. It's not worth the effort. So that's the situation in Switzerland. It is not easier to get a hot watch here than anywhere else in the world. And in my opinion, the best way to go about it is just to let your watch journey run its natural course. Eventually, you will get to a place where you are ready for that Daytona or for that Nautilus. So, I hope I didn't get too cheesy, emotional with you there. Just remember, watch collecting is about having fun, not having watches. Take care, have a good one.